Hey gang, Ronan here. Welcome on back to the Cade and another episode of Suckerpunch Sunday, the series where we do a deep dive into a classic fighting or fighting platform-based game from the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th generation. And for this week, because we've spent the last couple of episodes diving into, well, we did 2 on Aladdin, so I can't say we've gone too far into the weeds on it. We did the Genesis version, then we did the Super NES version. And then we did Golden Axe last week. We figured now's as good a time as any to go back to what we like best, which is a classic fighting game. And what better time to go back to our old buddy, the SNK Neo-Geo. So we're going to hit 1995, and we are going to play Voltage Fighter Gowcaizer. Now, this is a game that... It's funny how it works in terms of video games and pop culture, because... usually, it's a case of when an anime comes out, there's usually a game that comes out in support of that. With fighting games, though, it always tended to be the other way around. Street Fighter 2, when it came out, was so popular that we inevitably started getting anime created because of it. Same with Samurai Shodown, same to some degree with Mortal Kombat. And Voltage Fighter Gowcaizer is no exception. This game was released in 1995 in arcades, and then came out on the Neo-Geo AES and the Neo-Geo CD. It was later ported back in, if I remember right, in 2001 it was reissued on the PlayStation 1. And then has since been re-released on the PlayStation Network, most recently on the PlayStation 3. But then, about a year and a half, 2 years later, they came out with an anime based on this series. It was a 3-episode OVA that I've never seen. But what we're going to do over the course of the next half an hour or so is we're going to give this game a whirl. Now, despite my prodigious knowledge of fighting games, having been right at the peak of their introduction and playing them throughout their prime, this was never one I saw in an arcade. And it was never one that I got a chance to play on a console until now. So, you get, as you see, 10 characters to choose from. And I don't know one from the other, so I'm just going to pick... Well, it seems like I already picked mine. Because I ran out of time. And we'll give it a whirl. Now, I expect this to be no different mechanically than most fighting games I have played. We got our kick, got our punch. Okay, up his jump. This guy can't duck. Ooh, nice spin move. Well, this guy's is fighting me with a bucket, it looks like. Ouch. And I put him down to win the first fight. Oop, had a slight glitch there. And it's best 2 out of 3, so it's Kyosuke who I'm fighting. Okay. Now, the whole idea of this game is that it is set in the year 2017, which now makes this feel even more outdated and unrealistic to what they envisioned back when I was a teenager. Given we are now in 2024. So we win that fight, but in 1999, a massive earthquake has struck the Kanto region of Japan, and it is cataclysmic. It wipes out the landscape, and the Japanese government has relocated to a man-made island city 115 miles offshore of Tokyo Bay into a new capital called, no surprise here, Neo-Tokyo. And it becomes a hyper-technically advanced civilization. And in 2017, Neo-Tokyo mysteriously experiences a massive spike in crime. Despite all city functions acutely monitored and managed by its cerebral computer, the surge of criminal activity has evaded government monitoring. But with the spike in crime comes out of nowhere powerful figures who wish to stand up to these injustices. Who are all these characters that we get to fight in the game? Ooh, power cord. I've almost got him dead. There we go. So like most Neo-Geo games, the graphical presentation of it and the color fidelity of it is why this console stood out as such a misnomer against the Genesis, the Super Nintendo, and the PlayStation 1. Because everybody thought because it was more expensive and wasn't released in the US, it wasn't going to be as good a console. But as we've discussed over and over again in this series and in other episodes we've done, it absolutely is. And that speaks to the 24-bit graphic processing power that the console had versus the 16-bit console power that the Genesis and the Super Nintendo had. But it's funny because I was watching a video earlier today talking about all the issues that are befalling the current generation of games and game consoles, and one of the things that they brought up is the fact that new consoles are so expensive. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this run down and I'm going to pick a different character. But one of the things they talked about was how the new PlayStation 5 Pro is slated to be, what, $700 when it comes out? And that's just for the straight system. That doesn't include any of the accessories you're going to need. But they're talking about how, adjusted for inflation, it's one of the most expensive consoles of all time, and it is. But pitted against the Neo-Geo, it's still half the price adjusted for inflation. I'm not saying it's right, I'm just saying the Neo-Geo was that expensive. It was $700 back 30 years ago. It'd be $1,500 today. Oof. So Shenlong here he's really good at stacking moves. Ow. Meanwhile, Captain's really going to give you a backhand, although the headbutt certainly helped. That little jaunty camera movement that follows you as you jump, that's a little disconcerting, actually. So this was Captain Atlantis I was playing with, who was an academically gifted, bashful, and mild-mannered American archaeology student. Randy Riggs stumbles onto a curious-looking mask in his downtime upon waking up having seen drunk roughhousers harass bystanders on his way home. TV report the next morning revealed that he'd become the mighty Captain Atlantis. So he's based on traditional American superheroes like Batman and Superman, which makes sense. Let's see who else I can pick. I will take this guy. Alright, I'm closing my eyes and I'm just picking somebody at random here. So, okay, we got Marion. So this is Fudomaru, who is based on ninja manga heroes. And he's an undercover ninja of the Fudo clan. Ooh, and he throws stuff. Okay. Oh, flying human torture rack. Ow. Zap. Zapped him again. Oh, and I got him. I barely managed to get through that one. So the amount of damage they're able to do to me is considerably more than I'm able to do to them. At least it feels that way. Ooh, nice swap press there with the kick. That nice double kick, I'll take that. Now there are some non-playable characters in this game, and it looks like it was the one that was introduced on the Neo-Geo CD was called Necro-Kaiser. And it looks like he was also part of the OVA that came out. Like I said, it was released the following year. It was released in the US by the US Manga Corps, which is a now defunct anime marketing or anime licensing company, I should say. Now this game, when it came out, was kind of across the board in terms of its reception. GamePro only gave it 11 out of 20. All Game gave it 2.5 out of 5. But Hobby Consolas gave it an 87 out of 100. Ooh, and this guy Brider is no slouch. Video Games Magazine gave it a 6 out of 10, and Super Juegos gave it an 85 out of 100. Oh man, I'm getting slaughtered here. Man, that was brutal. So in All Games Review, they praised the art style, the character designs, and the controls, but criticized the audio, stiff sprite animations in the fighting system. GamePro lambasted the game's unoriginal moves, clumsy and silly-looking animations, unintelligible voice clips, and mediocre soundtrack. And Hobby Consolas, which is a Spanish magazine, their reviews were for the CD version, and they said they ranked it as a very good fighting game for the system, praising the trade system and the visual art style. So we've got Stinger, who we took down with Marion before, and we're still getting torched here by Brider. And I haven't really been able to execute special moves all that well yet. Man. Block, Ronan. You have to learn how to block in this game. Oh, still got taken out. So let's see, who is Brider here? Brider is... Brider is a young man who comes from a family line valuing the tradition of Bancho and Wunden. Alright, I might as well use Gowcaizer since I got him here.
Gowcaizer versus Brider.
Brider's character of Iki Tachibana was trying to rescue a puppy who was in the way of a car and took the brunt of the impact himself. So essentially he gets turned into a cyborg who becomes known as the superhero Brider. Alright, so out of all of them, it looks like Gowcaizer has... Ow. As I get zapped and dropped. Initially, it looked like I had the easiest special moves to pull here. And Gowcaizer is based in the mold of classic Japanese henshin and shonen manga. Where our hero here, Isato Kaiza, is your typical hot-blooded Japanese virtuous teenager, who also happens to be a skilled martial artist, although not in this case. And after winning the Japanese martial arts tournament in 2016, he's given a curious crystal known as the Kaiser Stone. The Kaiser Stone is what turns him into Voltage Fighter Gowcaizer. Alright, so I've tried a whole bunch of guys. Let me see if the girls are any better. So who is this? I think this is... This is Karen, okay. And in classic Japanese anime superhero tradition, the girls are scantily clad to innuendoize a whole heaping heck of a lot. I'm not saying it's right, and I'm not saying I necessarily agree with it. I didn't make the game, I'm just giving it a whirl. And she gets zapped. So Karen is a hero based on continuing legacies of real-world legends. There we go. Now I'm starting to get some traction going here. Although, so is he. Ah, I got zapped again. Damn it. How unique costume. Yeah, need a little fan service on your way out the door. Alright, next. Alright, well we haven't tried Gowcaizer yet. Let's see if we can get by him this way. Now I remember when we fought him the first time, the Gowcaizer was able to summon a familiar to fight with him. We haven't been able to do that yet. And here comes the move stacking. Wow, I got him down that far and then I didn't get a single hit in for the last 20 seconds of the round. And meanwhile, yeah, he's just stacking moves left and right. So now I'm able to summon the familiar. But I couldn't do anything with it. Now I send it out and I get slaughtered. Wow. Okay. Alright, let's try one more here. I'll try Shenlong this time. Okay, I can use that. Wow! I was pulling off special moves left and right here, and now... he is teeing off on me still. So, same thing I did before. Managed to pull off the special move. There's the triple kick with the zap. And he still beats me with the slide kick. Okay, well, we're at about 26 minutes, so, I mean, we might as well call it good here. But that, everybody, in a nutshell, is Voltage Fighter Gowcaizer from 1995 for the Neo-Geo. Now, obvious question out of the way, is this a good game? Not really. And I don't say that to be glib about it, but I think this is a game that, in some ways, it is too obtuse in its mechanics. Like, I think what a lot of people understand about fighting games is that there should be some general consensus into what the mechanics are. Like, one of the things that always bothered me about playing games like Mortal Kombat, if I'm honest, was that the trying to pull off like the fatalities and the special moves were harder than they needed to be. And that's what always will go back to with Street Fighter 2, in that it was the perfect combination of special moves, standard moves, blocking, jumping, all of that stuff. Grabs, throws, all of that. The balance was so pitch perfect in Street Fighter 2 that anytime you play a game that is trying to emulate it in a lot of ways, but then go in different directions with it, and I think in a lot of ways they try too hard. This definitely feels like it was trying too hard. Now, granted, again, it's a game I've never played, but you would expect there to be a little bit of ease of access into playing it. But we didn't get that in this game. It is immediately just get in there and go. And that it doesn't really give you that much of a benefit to being able to play. And it's just going to essentially tear you to shreds. Then, you know, to me, that I don't see a whole lot of enjoyment of playing that. Now, like most fighting games, if I spent the time to really get down into the weeds with it and get good enough at it to understand the controls, maybe it would turn out to be a better game. But in face value, not really. There's a lot of better fighting games, both on the Neo-Geo and on other consoles, that I think you'd have a better time playing. Is it a game they could remake today? I suppose if they wanted to. But Technos, last I saw, which is the company that came up with this, they went out of business in 1996. So no sooner did they come out with this game than within a year or so, they were defunct. So there is a company now, Arc System Works, which owns all the IP for Technos Japan. But they are, you know, it'd be hard, it would not be easy for them to try and come up with a version of this today. But Technos, if you're not familiar with it, they're the company that originally came up with Double Dragon. They also came up with Karate Champ and Renegade and Super Dodgeball, and a lot of games that really did well in the 8-bit and the 16-bit generation. But by this point, they were pretty much not long for the world. So, but again, that is Voltage Fighter Gowcaizer, and that's Suckerpunch Sunday for this week. If you've been enjoying the content, you know how to show it by this point. Be sure to follow us on social media through Instagram and Threads at RunsRetroCade to help spread the word about us as we continue to build this channel and make it bigger and better. Don't forget to tune in to Sports Saturday, as we are now in the playoffs for our great what-if scenario on NFL 2K2 for the Sega Dreamcast of building the New England Patriots dynasty without the great Tom Brady. We've got the best record in the league, but we doesn't guarantee we're going to get to the Super Bowl or even win the Super Bowl this year. So we'll have to see how that goes. And also be sure to tune in as well to our ongoing playthrough of Super Robot Wars Alpha Gaiden for the PS1 from 2001. We have new episodes of that being posted every Monday and Wednesday. My name is Ron. It's been great to spend this Sucker Punch Sunday with you. Be safe, be well, happy gaming. We'll talk to you tomorrow. as we're back saving the world in Super Robot Wars Alpha Gaiden. Bye.